A lot has changed, and it's a new year. So happy New Year's to everyone. I'm living. I'm living in a new state, and I'm now married to my wife now. We got a new temporary home, and I want to tell everyone Happy New Year's. Right, our country has been relevant now for like 250 years. People have been saying this though, New Year's, new me, for probably the past like 5 years, at least that I'm aware of. Probably because that, right? Um, but I don't want to hear that anymore. I want us to stay committed to our New Year's goals. We usually abandon, statistically speaking, we usually abandon our New Year's goals by March. I think it's 90%. And typically, the biggest New Year's goal that everyone wants to change is their body, right? I want to lose weight. I want to gain muscle. Probably both for a lot of people, right? But the first thing that has to change is your mind, right? Because you get the thought to change your body, and then you act on the thought to change your body. So that's got to come first. But sorry, the apple. Most people can't or have a hard time. We have a hard time changing our minds because that's just the human nature that we have. I mean, it's even in the Bible, right? God says that it's hard for us to fall away from the traditions of men, right? So the way that we're raised by our parents or culturally or whatever the case is, right? Humans just have a hard time falling away from the traditions of men. That's like in Colossians and the Gospels, pretty sure. But we need to find outlets of accountability and use those resources to help us stay focused on our new mindset and our new year goals. Like I have a letter sign in the living room and it says stay focused on it. I've probably had it saying stay focused probably for the past like actually probably over a year. Probably over a year now. Now that I think about it more, probably like a year and a half. Say stay focused. That's what it says. And yeah, we just need to stay focused on our goals. We can't forget our goals because we tend to, we get caught up with the responsibilities of our life, going to work, paying the bills, and then we want to um distract ourselves with like degenerative things, drinking and smoking and going to parties or finding a pretty lady or like what I mean or a nice man, whatever. Um, you know, and doing promiscuous things. That's gotta stop, right? You gotta focus your mind on the future for yourself, for your family, right? You gotta stay focused on what is the best version of you. We can't be playing games, wasting time no more because culture is going crazy right now. Okay, so we got to change our mind before we change our body. If the body is the goal that we're changing, most people want to change their body. Yeah, me personally, my New Year's goals is I'm gonna post once a week for you guys on Resurrection Wellness. Once a week. I'm also gonna do this daily. I'm gonna do an ice plunge. I bought an ice plunge and it's in the backyard. I'm gonna go in the ice plunge for 10 minutes every single freaking day. I don't care. I gotta stay focused on this. I was about to say like I don't care what temperature it is and stuff like that, but if it gets too cold outside, then I got those thoughts of like, oh well, what if I'm gonna get frostbite or what if you know I don't even know. I don't even know. But starting tomorrow, every day, I'm going to be in the ice bath for 10 minutes a day. I'm also going to do 100 push-ups every day, blah, blah, blah. I also want to minister publicly. Like, I want to do that for real. God's going to give me the courage in my heart to be able to proclaim the good news to people. So I'd love to just minister publicly to people, and I want to provide for my new family, right? We got two kitties, right? My wife, we got more on the way. I want to be able to provide for them. Of course, we live in an economy where that's not statistically a easy thing, right? But God's gonna make the way, and I got full faith that God has me here for a reason. Like I mentioned in an earlier video, what's happened to me, the past 3 years, past 3 years, I was down, but now I'm up for real, for real. Like I couldn't even walk. I couldn't even go down the stairs. I have a focused purpose, and I'm hearkening to God's voice to stay focused on this goal. So that involves a lot more prayer in my life, right? Talking to God, listening to God. I really gotta stay focused on those things as well. Not just the physical goals, but the spiritual goals, the mental goals. And I encourage you to do the same, So go ahead and comment down, please, your New Year's goals. If you got a big goal that you want to accomplish this year, comment it down in the channel, and you and I can have a conversation perhaps. But nonetheless, at least declaring your goal is a first step, right? Well, not a first step, but you think the goal, right? Then you act on the goal, or you declare your goal, right? Then people can hold you accountable to your goal. So y'all, let me know what your goals are for the New Year's. I'm gonna be doing ice plunging daily. I'm going to be doing public ministering, probably not daily, but maybe seasonally, maybe monthly. I don't know. I got to listen to God's voice and find the good frequency for me, that God wants me to do, because it could be risky, but also I could be protected. So, and I will be protected, but I'm just ranting and raving. My laptop's battery is low. So, y'all comment down, like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next week because we're hitting 2026. And I had a great time on New Year's with friends and family. I hope you did too. All right. So everyone, peace, and I'll see you next week.